Breaking news. We are here to talk about Victor Gyokeres. Literally, Andrea Berta was announced by Arsenal today, and the same night we hear that we seriously want Victor Gyokeres. Andrea Berta is already changing our lives. He's already changing our lives. That is what we've always wanted to hear, Victor Gyokeres. Now, we talked about Gyokeres 4 days ago. We talked about Sporting only wanting 50 to 60 million pounds for someone to get Victor Gyokeres this transfer window. And if you go back to last season, the transfer window, and you're doing all those videos talking about strikers with Cozy and which players we should sign and all that, he always asked me which one is your number one target, and I always say Gyokeres is my number one before Isaac. Now, listen, if we got Isaac, I still would be very, very happy. I'd still be over the moon. But Gyokeres has always been my favorite option since last season because of the price, because of his playing style. I've always said because he can get you both goals and assists. That is everything I said since last season. Now, Isaac is also very, very expensive, but he has the Premier League experience. But this is what David Ornstein has said before we get into what I think about what this signing would mean for us. So, according to David Ornstein, Arsenal developing strong interest in Victor Gyokeres as possible striker signing. Andrea Berta, firm admirer of 26-year-old Sporting forward, expected to figure prominently among Arsenal options, plus maybe more realistic than Isaac. What a time to be alive. Arsenal are actually, linked to serious strikers. It has to be one of them, the three of them, between Gyokeres, Isaac, and Osimhen. It can't be anyone else. And Osimhen is third on my list, Isaac is second on my list, Gyokeres is first on my list. If we got any of those three, I'd be very happy because we need a striker. But obviously, there's a lot of other things we need to look at. Price, availability, how much time is it going to take for you to sign that player? Someone like Isaac, I don't think anyone is going to be able to sign him in June. I think that is a transfer that is going to stay all the way to like August. And if Newcastle qualify for Champions League, I don't think he has to leave. There's no reason for him to leave. If I was him, I don't think there's any reason to leave. They've just won a cup and you're the main striker there. And if they increase your salary and you qualify for Champions League, there's no problem with actually waiting for one more season, I don't think. So unless they don't qualify for Champions League, then it would be a different scenario. But Victor Gyokeres, man, now let's be serious, man. When was the last time we had a striker like Victor Gyokeres? That was Aubameyang, and even Aubameyang the last couple of seasons, he was basically playing for us on the left wing, and he had Lacazette up front, and it was a mixture. Aubameyang was very good for us. He won for us our last ever trophy. If you go back before that, it was Giroud, and Giroud was missing a bunch of chances. If you go before that, that's when we had a serious striker in Van Persie. But when did we last have a proper striker like a Victor Gyokeres, someone who can get you 40 goals in a season? We've not had that in a while. Even Aubameyang did not get those kind of numbers. Like, that is not Arsenal. Arsenal have never had that kind of striker. I don't even think Van Persie got to 40, maybe 38, 39 or something. I don't even think he got to 40, but if he did, maybe once or something. But it's been long. When was the last time you had an Arsenal striker scoring 4 goals in a game? Any Arsenal player even? Have we had anyone scoring 4 goals in a game? Let alone one. We actually just need 1 goal in some of these games, but 4 goals? That guy has scored 4 goals a couple of times in a single game. I can't remember the last time we had a 4-goal player in a game. I remember Perez and Welbeck scoring hat-tricks, Sanchez scoring a hat-trick against West Ham and Leicester, Aubameyang against Leeds. I don't think Lacazette ever scored a hat-trick. Jesus, I think he scored a hat-trick in the Emirates Cup against Sevilla, but you get the point. We don't have a player who can consistently get those kind of numbers. Which kind of numbers? Well, last season, before this one, I wanted Gyokeres, as I've said, and that was before he recorded these numbers this season. This season, he's played 42 games. He has scored 42 goals and 11 assists in those 42 games. 42 games, 42 goals and 11 assists. Like, that guy is giving you 42 goals in 42 games, and then he's adding some extra for you, Here is 11 assists as well. Those are crazy numbers. And the numbers that stood out to me last season were the fact that he had played 50 games and he had scored 43 goals and 15 assists. That is why I really wanted him last season, because I was like, there's no way a player can get you 43 goals and 15 assists and then we say, nah, it's just a one-season wonder. Nah, because previously he had also gotten 34 goal contributions for Coventry in England in the Championship, one of the hardest leagues. The Championship is not easy for you to get promoted and to score goals in that league. It is not easy at all. So a player who can bring those kind of numbers, like that, those 42 goals he has scored this season, even if you just take half of those and bring them to the Arsenal game, to the Arsenal team, you can even tax that more. You can take 7, give us 14 goals from that. We would be top of the league if you gave us those goals that Gyokeres has scored this season. A third of those goals would be top of the league. That's how much we've needed a player like that. Very, very much needed a player like that. And his strong points and all that, the way he can run in behind defenders, his strength. These days, we have a lot of strong players at Arsenal. You're not the same Arsenal that we used to be 10 years ago. Gabriel, Saliba, Havertz, Rice, these are big, big players, Marine and all those guys. We have big players. Even players like Saka are very strong. And then Gyokeres is also a very strong player. A player who can run in behind. He has the power, he has the pace, he can dribble from the midfield and go past players and score goals. He's not only going to wait inside the box for a tap-in, no. He has all that combined. And the number of games this season that we've needed such just a goal to help us, it's been so many. Again, we'll come to that. But the other thing that stands out, my favorite thing is that he can also get you assists, the goals and the assists. He can contribute in many different ways. He's always gotten 10 plus assists all these seasons that he's played. That is very, very good. And the Champions League experience as well. He does that in the Champions League as well. But what else stands out there? The games. 42 games this season, 50 games last season, 50 games for Coventry the previous season. His feet is always there to play. 4,000 plus minutes, I think, last season. That's a lot. That's a lot of game time. That is a lot of game time that guy is playing. And we don't even need him to play every single game for us. No, the games is going to be recurred in, the Premier League, the Champions League, and some games is going to be rested. We need a player like that. This season, I went during the international break. I've gone back and I've watched the 3 seasons, this past 3 seasons, including this one. Yeah, don't ask me why. By watching those seasons, it was a bit painful seeing how we were finishing those seasons because we were so close. That Aston Villa game still hurt, but the way we were playing the football 2023 season, we were so close. Last season as well, 2 points behind Man City. We desperately needed a striker to go to the next level this season, and we didn't do that. We didn't even forget even getting a top striker. We didn't even get a 10 million striker at all. We just didn't get a striker at all, any forward player. That was a bad mistake. That was a big mistake. We should have definitely gotten a striker to play for us. And even in January, we failed to get one. Even players like Cunha and players like that, we failed to get any of them. And then at the same time, you see, even Tottenham went on and signed Solanke. During that period, United went on to sign Højlund the last season. Man City signed Haaland a couple of seasons ago, and they went on to win the treble the same season. So a striker is very important in the team. A striker is very important. This season, Monaco, how many one-on-one chances did we have against Monaco? We won that game, yes, but Odegaard had like 2 chances one-on-one. Jesus the same, Martinelli the same. None of them scored. And you'd at least find not all those chances will drop to Gyokeres. By the way, these 2 players still have to improve, but Gyokeres will at least get one of those chances in that position. If you look at Brighton, the first game that we played against Brighton and Declan Rice got the red card, we had like 3 chances after we were down to 10 men. I remember Havertz missing, I remember Saka missing, and I think it was Trossard or one of those guys, one of the other guys missing a chance as well, like clear-cut chances inside the box. If you look at Atalanta away, could have been 1-0. Martinelli went through one-on-one. He missed the chance over the bar. That could have been Gyokeres in that position. We win that game 1-0 after Raya saves the penalty. And then there's those half chances, Bournemouth away. Come on, Martinelli was through one-on-one against Bournemouth away before Bournemouth scored. That game might not have been 2-0 to Bournemouth. It could have been 1-0 to Arsenal. And there's many other examples. Brighton away. Declan Rice sweeps in a free kick. It drops to Merino. Missed. Man United, FA Cup, Havertz, a couple of chances missed, even simple things like penalties and all that we've missed this season. Those chances Gyokeres probably puts in like 80% of them. Chelsea away from home, last minute chance. I think Trossard or Martinelli, one of them missed. Inter Milan, the game we dominated that game away from home at San Siro. So many chances, and then bro, we can keep on going. Shakhtar, Ipswich, we win 1-0. West Ham at home, we didn't score. Everton at home, we didn't score. Chelsea at home, we only scored 1 goal. It's so many games that we could have easily have won. Even Newcastle away, you could easily have scored a goal as well if you had a striker. But if you don't, the players that we have are not finishers. But as I've said, some chances are still going to drop to those players. But if someone like a Gyokeres comes to your team, someone like an Odegaard, I already tweeted it like 2 weeks ago. If we bring a striker, those 3 assists that Odegaard has for Norway, it's because Norway have Solot and Haaland up front, 2 proper strikers. If we got a striker up front, Odegaard will easily get 15 plus assists in the league the next season. Easily. Those chances created for Gyokeres, I'm telling you, he gets 15 plus assists easily. And maybe it improves the game from whoever is going to stay, whether they're both going to stay, Martinelli and Trossard. Maybe they become better players. Havertz is there. Now all of a sudden, Havertz doesn't have that pressure of Havertz, you have to score 2 goals in this game or else we are done for now. We have different players to score, and then we have a focal point that we can know, listen, sometimes we have very good defenders, very, very good defense. Some games you're like, okay, you're not going to concede a goal, but who's going to score? If you have Gyokeres there, things are different. Like if we were going to this Madrid game with Gyokeres and Saka, I think Arsenal fans would feel very differently going to that game, because you just know, okay, just defend well, and we have very good defenders, and then try and get a goal or 2, which is very possible. So this would be huge for us. And Gyokeres being 50 to 60 million, that allows you to sort out other positions. If you get Isaac for 150 million, even if you have the 300 million, you probably have to, reduce the kind of players or go for different kind of level players in terms of the wingers and all that. What do we need next season? We need a winger for sure. We need a striker. Some even say we need 2 strikers. We definitely need a backup goalkeeper. Neto is going to leave back for Bournemouth. Sterling is going to go back. Do we also need a backup for Saka again? But the main ones, striker, winger, backup goalkeeper, and also midfielder. Somehow creative midfielder. We have to know what you're going to do with Merino and Rice next season. Is Rice going to be a starting number 6, or is he going to continue to play number 8 position? Is Partey Jorginho, one of them going to be here next one, or both of them are going to leave? We have to know all these things so that we know how to build the team during the transfer window, because we are so close, man. Like 2 points last season, even this season, like we've not even played well, but we're still second. We're ahead of all the other teams. Like we just needed a striker to get this games done. 10 draws this season. You just turn 4 of those games to wins. And how many points are we behind Liverpool right now? 4. Just 4 of those games, turn them into wins. And it's very possible, 1-1 against Brighton twice. Win one of those games, you're 10 points behind Liverpool. A game against Everton 0-0. Get just 1 goal in that game, 8 points behind Liverpool. Many other countless examples, West Ham, even just get a draw against West Ham, yeah, an extra point there. All those chances we've been missing, so many other games. Fulham away from home. Do we have to draw that game? Add another 2 points. Easily 2 points behind Liverpool if you have a striker in the team. Because our defense has never been the problem. Never at all. It's never been the problem. I can't remember the last time Arsenal conceded 3+ goals in a game. It's been years. That's how good our defense is. So the blame is never on Saliba, never on Gabriel, never on Raya, never on Timber, never on Benoit, never on any of those players. So if we needed, I want a striker. I mean, the Saka has 10 assists and he's been injured for half of the season. Imagine he gets those assists for. So if Gyokeres is there, I'm telling you guys, if you have a striker there, you could have a season where Saka has 15 assists and Odegaard has 15 assists, both of them. I'm already happy just thinking about it. Just get the signing done. I'll be very, very happy. And then there's this. Let's talk about this as well. So Mikel Arteta's point of view carried substantial weight in Arsenal's sporting director decision. As I said, he was just announced today. Andrea Berta. He was involved in the latter stages of Arsenal's sporting director process, and he favored the hiring of Andrea Berta, which is great. Maybe it could have been some sort of conflict if Arteta wanted someone else and then the board wants someone else, and then, but listen, the manager is not supposed to be the one appointing the director, but if the manager is like, yeah, I actually like this guy, I feel like he's going to help me in this and that, it helps because they have to work together. Arteta is not going to be sacked. So I've still seen people saying players need a different coach. Arteta is going to be here next season. So we're already planning for next season. We have to find a way where Arteta and Berta are going to work together, and we finally have an experienced director. Let's hopefully it works magic. So That's great. That's great that you wanted him, and he's been successful at Atletico Madrid in terms of signing strikers, and in terms of Atletico Madrid competing with Real and Barcelona. That's not easy. The final two in Arsenal sporting directors, such as Jason Aito and Andrea Bata, both met Josh Kroenke, who flew in to play an active role in the final stages, and the ownership accepted the club's recommendation. Bata, so the club. Wanted Bata. That's also great for Bata himself, knowing that, okay, Arsenal really wanted me ahead of everyone else. Let's go there and do the job. He has a lot of connections. He has a lot of experience. And it can only help us. It can only help us. Maybe I mean, listen, I still think Edu did a great job at Arsenal. I mean, we were never a team that was going to compete for titles. Like, go back to 2 years ago and check predictions from people. People are talking about fifth, sixth being the best an Arsenal could have. So the kind of players we've signed some really good players. There's been some terrible ones like Willian and Sterling, but you mean players like Gabriel and players like Martinelli and players like Odegaard. Those have been really good signings. Even Rice for that price and beating Man City to him, that was very, very good signing, Declan Rice. So Josh Kroenke finalized it, which is great. And then Zubimendi as well. We also need to kind of sort out our midfield. As I've said, Martin Zubimendi is on his way to Arsenal, according to reports from Spain. Real Sociedad won the 60 million euros quickly so they can wave goodbye to him on the pitch. They want the money immediately so that they can wave goodbye to him. That's funny, but listen, a busy transfer window coming up. We still have 2 months of the season to go. We still need to get as far as we can in the Champions League, finish as high on points as we can in the Premier League, and then build towards next season. But it's good that we also wanted the director from Real Sociedad, but I'm hearing couldn't do that because Arsenal wanted to appoint someone 2 months before the transfer window so that we can start doing our business right now and getting, plans set for right now, because getting a director in June, that wouldn't be ideal. Players would already made their decisions on where they want to go and all that. So for us, this is great. But the breaking news is Victor Gyokeres. Arsenal are serious about Victor Gyokeres. Andrea Bata admires him. Don't we all? Don't we all? If you just see the kind of goals he scores, the performances he has every single game, one chance, one goal, what we're looking for. That's the kind of player we want. One chance, one goal, not 3 chances, then maybe 1 goal. No, we want a player who's going to take those chances, those 0-0 games. There's no way. Like, if you have someone like a Gyokeres, those games last season, we were winning 6-0, 5-0. We win those games 7-8. And yeah, let's get a player who wants to score goals, a player who's happy to be there and score goals and be in the right position, a player who knows how to score goals. That is what he does every single day practicing. That is what we need. Because this season, how many of our players have scored more than 10 goals? None. So that is a flaw. That is a flaw you need to sort out very early in the transfer window. So let me know what you make about all that. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one. Victor Gyokeres and Bata. It's already changing our life.